Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Piper Academy, the morning market report. Guys, I'm so sorry for yesterday. Something family related happened. Last minute, I was not able to take too much sleep, but hopefully, well, in fact, everything is okay. It's much better, and all played out better than I was expecting. Other than that, thank you guys so much for joining. As you might see, Solana might be changing forever. I don't know. It seems pretty good. Also, I mean, we have a couple of news, and at the end, also allow me guys to make some funny statements about the current, I don't know, worldwide situation. But we'll take a look at that, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Let's jump into the news. Hey guys, so we got right here Solana community to vote on SIMD 0228. I know, technicals, right? But what does that mean? Well, that is an inflation automated system adjustment for Solana. So let's just read a little bit in here before we start getting the shoutouts, because we need to get that thumbnail out of the way. This really excites me. Why? Because I don't know, Solana, guys. I like Solana, or I liked Solana. Despite everything that has gone through, well, I lost a little love for it, but still, kind of like has a special place on my place and on my wallet, of course. And I mean, seeing some, engagement with this, it kind of like gets me going. Like, you know what? This might be good for the community on Solana. This might be good for the project. This is reflecting that they're not giving up just yet. And I mean, we'll see. We'll see how that implements. Still, Solana is not at the place where I love it to be at, but still, I mean, this might be bringing up a couple of hype. Maybe not immediately, maybe after we see the inflationary results of it. But as you know, well, a deflationary coin might be much better than an inflationary coin, right? So Solana validators are set to vote on new proposal that could change Solana inflation works by adjusting the token emission dynamically. That is fantastic. Hopefully we can do that in fiat, right? At Epoch 743 expected to begin this week. Solana validators will vote on Solana improvement document 0228, a governance proposal that ties inflation rates to staking participation. Well, I don't know. I don't really like staking. The way that is implemented at this point, I do it, especially with Solana, since I do have my bags kind of like sitting around there. But this is important. I would say that this is important, especially for Solana. I will love to see Solana kicking some ass soon, especially bringing some hype into the market. So let's get started with you guys, because you guys are the most important of Piper Academy. And after you guys, go smash orange juice with a shot of cold brew coffee. Haven't tried it? What are you waiting for? What do you have to lose, man? There's no Piper here today to tell me to quit it, to stop it. So let's move forward with it. Piper, I love you, buddy. Hopefully you're doing great on your cruise ship. By the way, guys, if you didn't know, yesterday I was supposed to be meeting Piper at Cozumel. I was not able to travel, family related stuff, but at the moment, or kind of like 15 minutes before I took off, I got a call. I needed to stay. So he got to be there without meeting. So Piper, if you're watching, really miss you, buddy. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for also your support on these times. And hopefully you're having a great time. All right, we see, as always, Alexandra G, the Queen Bud. What's up, Alexandra? La Familia first, of course. We also have BC Portcore. What's up, buddy? And also we have Kyle Fields. Yo, what is up, my friend? We have username. We have Lost on Crypto. What's up? username again, Babajas. What's up, brother? By the way, guys, remember, if you want me to take a look at any asset today, because we've seen green markets so far, please get it to me with a thumbs up at the end. So when I scroll through this messages, I can easily find it. We also have JR. What is up, brother? Welcome. Welcome. Great to have you around. Alexander, of course. Babajas, username. Who else we got in here? Kylie, what's up? And I think, Wick's wife, what is up, Wick's wife? Great to have you here. Retro Mike, I was skipping you, my friend. No skipping Retro Mike, of course. What is up? OC, OJ, absolutely. Thank you for that, brother. Guys, you gotta try your OJ with a shot of espresso. The better the espresso, of course, the better the experience. It's weird. It's weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's weird. But you know what? It doesn't, it also tastes very good, but also grows in you as you try it further. So give it a try. You have nothing to lose other than a good shot of espresso, but how would you not be trying that, right? So let's take a look at what we got up next, guys, because we have a couple of news that I want to go over. And I don't know, on my opinion, sometimes media doesn't get the actual importance of an interview other than the kind of like the hype that it's kind of like ambiguous on my perspective. We'll see what we're talking about. Hey, Duality C, hello. Ninja Glock, what is up, brother? Welcome to the market report. Average Crypto Joe, almost skipping you, my friend. Welcome. Great to have you guys here. By the way, guys, click that like button. Make me that favor, and also share the love, spread the love. Click that like button and share this stream. Let's get started with the Kobayashi ladder here. One of my favorite spots on X. So X marks the spots section right now. The market reactions to jobs report, it's very telling. Of course it is. S&P 500 futures surge as much as 40 points plus. Man, that is a big jump on a jobs report that was almost directly in line with expectations. Why? Let's take a look at why. Because market have become increasingly emotional with elevated levels of fear. Yes, we know this. I mean, every single time that we see it, we're just dumping farther and farther, and then kind of like doing that rally to the upside just to be caught for a big resistance and then not making it above it. A little bit of hopium. Don't take this as a fact, right? But I still have I believe that we are not yet over. Remember, we're going to be taking a look at the Bitcoin price action in my analysis for what I think we could be the breaking point. Once again, remember, we've been on it for almost maybe that dead cat bounce. Hopefully you guys have bought that bottom and you're riding it to the top. We'll see farther ahead. Related future have also, interest rate futures have also pushed rate cut expectations back to June 2024. Fear is a powerful emotion. Yes, also FOMO. We already know that, right? Let's go into the Bitcoin magazine here. Breaking. Treasury Secretary Bessent says we'll see what the way forward for any Bitcoin acquisitions. I don't know, man. This is what I was telling you. You know what? Sometimes I think they don't really get the point. I'm going to be trying to play a video for you guys. Let me know if we have audio. Let me also try to browse this through you guys. So let me see if you guys can hear this. Let's play it.
Billion, that's all.
Reserve. Supposedly there is disappointment that we're not going to be buying Bitcoin outright using taxpayer dollars. But if we can do it in a revenue neutral way, we would. Number one, were you a proponent for the reserve? And two, is there a way to buy Bitcoin, not just acquire it through, I don't know, however we've gotten these $17 billion worth at this point?
Yeah, so Joe, I am a big proponent of the U.S. taking the worldwide lead in crypto. I think we have to bring it onshore and they use our best practices and regulation. I think that the Bitcoin reserve, before you can accumulate it, you have to stop selling it. So what we have now is from a seized asset pool, and I wasn't there when it happened, but I believe what happened was about 500 million of Bitcoin was seized, half of it was sold, and what we have now that say it's over 10 billion, 10, 12 billion, that's all through appreciation. So the first thing to do is to stop the selling. So we are going to, after the victims are paid and all of that, any seized assets will go into this reserve, and then we'll see what the way forward is for more acquisitions for the reserves. And we're starting with Bitcoin, but it's an overall crypto reserve.
Right. So how do you think about buying, though? And how should taxpayers think about that? Because effectively we'll be levering ourselves to some degree, given that we don't have a surplus of money right now to make these investments.
Yeah, so that's why the first step is to stop selling, and then we're going to put a plan in place from there. So we're having this crypto summit. I'm going back to Washington this afternoon, and then we'll talk about the way forward.
Okay, Bitcoin.
All right, so it seems like we already have some Bitcoin mentioned on the crypto reserve. I mean, so much waited for that, isn't it, BC Port Corp? Also, we have new integrations right now in members. Right here, we have also C90F. What's up, C90? Who else we got right here that just joined? I believe Duality. What's up? So yeah, guys, I mean, before thinking of keep buying, we need to start thinking of stop selling. Remember that he mentioned that they have something around 10 to 12, and this is through appreciation, right? So I think this might not have the impact that media might be pushing. I mean, if we can take a look at it here, even Bitcoin Magazine, that surprised me. We'll see what the way forward is any Bitcoin acquisitions. Well, I actually believe that the way to go, or what the most important part, what he said, it is, you know what, we need to stop selling, all right? Why is that? Because, I mean, they also got a big chunk of Bitcoin through, what was that? Through, did not acquire it by purchasing it, but through appreciation. So yeah, I mean, as any DCA strategy, remember, you buy into the deep, right? And then you start selling as where you have that higher risk. But at this point, I mean, stop selling Bitcoin. It is a big step forward to Bitcoin spearheading the crypto reserve. I mean, I think that they just don't want to or didn't want to mention Bitcoin at the time because maybe some, I don't know. Let's just say that maybe some favors were being paid, all right? So we know that that's how politics are, right? I mean, you get favors, you pay favors, you repay favors, and then, then you move forward from there, right? I mean, this is not a secret, but let's not point fingers at anyone, and also let's not drop names at this point of anything here. But RTM go his TFH on. We'll take a look at RMT then. Sorry. So BC Port Corp, thank you, my friend. Hardware wallet. Oh, nice. All right. So by the way, guys, I mean, this is important. Also something in Michael Saylor. By the way, I also had Michael Saylor's here comment. Here we go. History will enshrine the moment Donald Trump established the U.S. strategy Bitcoin reserve, a turning point into financial and geopolitical landscape on 21st century. By the way, guys, here's a little bit of something that is happening. Who was spearheading this? It was El Salvador, right? Let's not forget that. But it doesn't really matter. And this is a little bit of a shame, right? That it doesn't really matter that El Salvador did it unless a big nation, a big power nation does it, right? So I believe that the U.S. going forward with this might be the groundbreaking point to start developing. So what is this? So remember, just like, for example, WW1 or WW2, we can pinpoint a starting event, all right? But if you really notice what happened, by the way, hopefully you guys did your homework by looking at WW1, WW2 starting events, right? Talking about tariff and financial exchanges, right? Let's just call it like that. World exchanges, well, then that's going to start some conflicts, but let's just leave that for maybe a Saturday class or in Discord class. So you want to learn more about our tinfoil hat conversations, come join us on the Discord, and man, you're gonna have so much fun, so much alpha, and also we're gonna be just dissecting important topics as we talk about them and as we dive deep within them. By the way, shout out to BC Port Corp. That was a great chat that we have 2 days ago. Love that, my friend. Mike Play, what is up, brother? Welcome back. So basically, we are seeing United States also following up a couple of important steps there. And well, I think this is going to be, again, the startup point where we're going to be seeing more events and events and events. Just be sure, all right, that not because the US shows interest in here, is that we're going to have a long-lasting push. Remember what happened with El Salvador. I know that the amounts that are being bought, right, or they could be bought for a reserve, they are not even close to compare one to each other. But also, we need to understand that El Salvador did put out a lot of money right down there, and what happened with that is that the Bitcoin price started just plummeting, right? Remember that? So just keep that in the back of your head. All right, why everybody wants to buy cheap Bitcoin and sell it expensive. I'm just gonna leave that out there. And also, guys, remember to do your TA day by day so you don't get caught off guard. And remember, as always, use a stop loss. Let's go to Watcher Guru. Guys, something interesting is happening, especially with NASDAQ. Remember that NASDAQ was called out just 1 or 2 news ago in this same channel, where the Cabis letter was showing the NASDAQ surge a lot, like 4 points or 40 points plus. That was a lot, right? So what's up with NASDAQ? Well, then, I think we're seeing also some migration or adoption of what the crypto market brings to the table, right? 24-hour trading. Maybe would this be the end of CME gaps? I don't know. I don't think so, by the way, but could be. Maybe we have a less dramatic CME gap closure, and we'll see 24-hour trading there. We'll have to see if they still respect opening and closing times, or if they just literally is 24-hour trading, right? Because remember, sometimes they do use that they hold, you put your orders, they hold it, and then at the market opens, well, then they execute in order those opens, thus creating a CME gap that is pre-filled before execution, right? So just a little bit of that, guys. So let's move in the rest of what we got. We got some data coming in. Remember that at this point, well, you see that I have Mexican government and U.S. government events, very important non-farm payrolls, also unemployment rates, and Fed Chair Powell, man. We'll see how that goes. I mean, every single time that guy speaks, something moves. Remember, by the way, a little bit of that tinfoil hat theory. By the way, shout out to Alex O Crypto that he let me know about this, that every single time that he coughed, well, then in lower time frames, we see kind of like a big reaction to markets, right? So be aware of that. I mean, I'm not saying that it's truth, or neither that it exists, right? But it's going to be very fun to watch. Let's go in here. Non-farm payrolls, February. Remember that we are revising those numbers. The third here, we are for reference the February numbers. So basically, as we were expecting a little bit higher there, but still on its go. So remember also that we have a note, what was it, 2 days ago, so not yesterday, the day before, where they were saying that they're going to be working with the Fed to bring lower rates, right? So let me refresh this page. There we go. 4.1 on the review. Sorry, what is it? 4.0 on the revision. 4.1 seems to be. I don't know why is it. Oh yeah, got it. Actual, there we go, 4.1. There we go, is the numbers right now on unemployment rates. So basically going up for what was before, basically being in line of slightly above of what was expected. But as you can see, we are oscillating between 4.1, 4.1, and we still need to take a look at what's going to be in here for it. But predictions, well then, they stated that we might be able to get somewhere around the same. Something important to show is that we have not yet been above 4.2, so they have been doing a great job at topping it at 4.2, right, percent. So that's going to be key, because we can identify right away a little bit of a range happening there. Of course, we don't want unemployment rate to skyrocket at all, neither to plumb from one day to another, because that brings unbalance, right? And also to bring down unemployment rates, well, a lot of money needs to be moved around, or well, you need to play a strategy that over time will get you those results. So you're playing without how much capital you have to invest on creating new jobs, how much strategy you have to be creating that balance to keep it in line or as low as possible, also fixing those rates, right? Let's just finalize with actual rates here. We have the last numbers here is just basically staying at the same, flat at the moment, no changes. That is good. I mean, at least we're not moving anywhere, and we are constantly going downwards. Flattening out at this point, I don't know, seems like to me that we are kind of like in a battle between what the Fed has to do or have a plan to do, and what the Federation wants it to follow along, right? It's not that they just go and punch in those numbers. Well, at least that's what I want to believe, so, right? That they don't punch those numbers just because, and they just publish them. Although with revisions at this point, I don't know. We'll have to see. Of course, that is a bad joke. But we'll have to see that we are flattening out at this point. We could be looking for a possible reversal or further continuation. I know I just said up and down at the same time. But remember, the next series of events, we're going to be defining what's going to happen at this point. At least we see, yes, a little bit of an increase of unemployment, but also not the rates neither plummeting, neither rising crazy, right? So this is as basically good because we're showing some stable movement here. So guys, I need to take a 2-second break. Seems like my Doberman, he thinks he's a Chihuahua, and he just got stuck here. Give me guys 1 second. All right, got him on stock here. That's funny. You just have to stay in. All right, let's move forward into the next. Let's jump into the charts in here. Let's also, guys, let's take a look at what's happening here. And this is exciting. What is it exciting? This is the Bitcoin chart on the daily. You can see that I have setups here a S shape because this is what I was expecting out of a possible symmetrical triangle. Remember that we hand drew this trend line, right? And we have a better trend line being drawn there, and we have respected it very, very nicely. Finally, look at that. Remember what we talked about this candle? It repeated, right? And now it's repeating. Remember, this is daily. This is not out there yet. I mean, this is not over, and we're heading into the weekend. So we are on Friday. Hopefully we have a green Friday, but we need to remember that we have low volume. That usually indicates high volatility if the right conditions are given, right? Why? Because we have low volume, therefore could be susceptible to manipulation. I remember 2 years ago, every single Sunday, we had a dip, like a big dip. If you don't recall that, go check out your charts. That might change between Sunday and Monday, depending on what part of the world you are. But yeah, kind of like at the end of the weekend, we had kind of like that really big dump. I'm not saying that it's going to be repeating, but I do see candle structure that I really like. All right. So as you can see, also we're fighting against dynamic reactor. We need to forecast what's going to happen from this point forward. Let's go in. There we go. Now we're looking at the daily again, all right, but with our trend line set up in here. Let's go to the 4 hours. We're going to have a little bit more market structure to visit, right? And also we're going to be following up along what we were talking about. So the first thing it is that we have this inverse head and shoulders. Remember that I was expecting that little range before breaking out. Remember those ranges are basically unknown breakouts, right? So very important, break to the upside. We went to hit dynamic reactor and also this other trend line that we had in here, and then we rejected out of our very important zone. Remember, previous support becomes new resistance. All right, going back, we did another beautiful bounce out of that area, and finally we could draw right here very precise, or as precise as we can, trend line here, touching this point, touching these other 2 points, and basically almost nailing that next point in here. Remember, we were expecting an FOR. There we go. It happening here at the bottom at support for that pump. Did you guys caught it? Hopefully you guys have. So let's take a look at here, because I have a couple of other trend lines that I was drawing yesterday. This is on the 5 minutes. What are we jumping from the daily 4 hour and 5 minutes? Because I want you guys to have a perspective, all right? If you're looking to trade today, be careful, because look at how we're having those pumps and dumps, pumps and dumps, pumps and dumps, all right? Remember 101 trading rules. You have your trend lines, and the trend line, it is for definition the tool to measure that trend, all right? So the trend is broken when the trend line is taken, when the trend line is broken. So be careful with this possible pattern. I would rather see maybe a lower high before we start going downwards, but still look at that. We are almost looking for a flip of the ribbon. We are back in those areas. Remember that we can slightly break up or break downwards here. We're gonna be shifting our A to maybe something like a 5 or 6. There we go. I told you just now, right? 5 or 6. There we go, between 5 or 6. That is because we're losing one of our most important area of volume, right? We need to be aware that something like this could happen, all right? That we lose the trend line and we just go to you know, the infra world. But other than that, this could be an important entry on the 15 minutes, but wait for that FOR, flip of the ribbon. This is not financial advice, but here it goes, the next movement, all right? Again, at this point, no entry yet, right? We are gonna be looking for an entry after we see it, so basically something like that. Confirmation that we're closing above our dynamic reactor on the candle closed after the flip of the ribbon, right after the flip of the ribbon, right? So be patient. We could be having maybe an entry for a long or an entry for a short in a couple of minutes. How would that entry for a short look like? Couple of candles down, couple of candles up, right here being up below dynamic reactor, something like this, but right here, right? And then right there, off we go with a very short stop loss. Remember, try to be as cheap as possible right there. Let's go and let's see what else do we have in here. Well, Bitcoin, we already have gone through the 4 hours. This is the previous chart, all right? Let's go back to midterm, where we are fighting against the dynamic reactor, and that's why we have that big retracement, right? And here is where this S shape starts playing in. Why? Remember that this is the pattern that I was expecting, all right? From this point up to dynamic reactor, we already got it. So this point right here, let me just clear this up so we can see it much better. This point right here was this point right there. Now this point right here was this point right there. So the analysis is completed. What is up next? Looking for the next rejection zone. Are we on that next rejection zone? Of course we are. So be careful. At this point, we are already above dynamic reactor. I would love to see that bounce or flip of the ribbon. And we could very much have it. Why? Because we are increasing on our consolidation score. A higher consolidation score means that we are stabilizing and having less of a trendy structure, right? So you look at how we're moving downwards very violently, right? Look at how we're then moving upwards very violently. Having less of a trendy structure builds up that compression, all right? And what do we want that compression? We want that compression because that creates momentum, well, not really momentum. It will be accumulation for then a momentum move. So basically what I'm trying to say is that we could be having a big movement, either like this or like that, all right? So what I'm trying to see, or what I would like to see, is this kind of pattern be playing out right there. Make no mistake, we're still bearish, all right? We are still bearish. Why? Because look at our prime score, low. Look at we are below dynamic reactor, all right? And also we are still on dump. Remember, guys, keep your eyes on the prophecy for everything that's holy. Take a look at your prophecy. It is the prophecy. It is usually used in the daily or higher, but when it changes for good, guys. All right. So far we are respecting our trend line. Let's actually build it up on this chart also. So our beautiful trend line right there, right? And right here, let's also remove this. And we also have a more defined trend line right there, all right? So basically creating the symmetrical triangle. Guys, can anyone tell me what is the symmetrical triangle percentage of breakout? Quick test here. Hey, armypiper, can't wait to get back to you all. Miss you doing the show. Absolutely, we miss you here, Piper. Hopefully you're having a great time. Enjoying, my friend. In the meantime, I'll cover it, don't worry. But we miss you. So also check out the beginning of the video, because I made a little bit of shout out for you, my friend. Send you and spread the love for you, buddy. So Mexican Riviera. No, we are doing the Mexican Riviera. Nice, love it. Thank you for that, Alexander G. So answering the same question that what we were talking about, well then, a symmetrical triangle usually is looking like around 50-50 chances to break up or down. So I know it's funny, but it's like, all right, it's an unknown breakout. But what is then about it, right? The important part of the patterns is that a pattern, it's only a pattern after it has confirmed. What do you confirm? At the breakout, right? So I know that we are, it's kind of like a little bit like, hey, buddy, you're telling me no information here. But bear in mind that we're using the most basic and powerful tools, which are trend lines. By the way, you don't want to do your own trend lines? Tell ChartPrime to do those trend lines for you. Look at that. Finding that automated trend line, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as easy as turning on and off a button right there for you guys. Remember, here in Piper Academy, we have a 45% discount coupon. Make sure you use it on your first bill. So let's take a look at here. Randy in the house. What is up, brother? Hey, Randy, welcome to the show. Let's take a look at here. So what we're going to be looking for, it's those breakouts, something important. And remember, based on my previous analysis, we're looking, because of our consolidation score getting higher, we're looking for a possible breakout, going to the actual trend line, the best trend line, or the most strongest trend line here for a rejection, seeing what's going to happen here. Most likely we're going to be above dynamic reactor. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. And off we go, of course, with your stop loss. And then let's see if we can do a Valhalla reach out there. But so far, step by step. All right, guys, because very much we could be going up, all right, bouncing off the zero line and then going farther to our previous big area of support, which again will be falling in line with what we could be expecting at these areas, which is a huge, ginormous range, all right? How then we define the breakout here? When we bounce down to support, I also want to see that the flip of the ribbon, it is pretty much at the top of that area right here. Let me show you how. Something like this, all right? Or something like this, bouncing up, there we go, above the dynamic reactor, above or above-ish of the zero line, right? And not below the zero line, because when we're below the zero line, look at what happens, right? When we're below the dynamic reactor, and if we start having bounces below the zero line, guess what's going to happen right there? All right, so a little bit of alpha there for Bitcoin. And now let me finalize with one of the news that is being funny for me. And please, guys, allow me to make a little bit of a joking here, right? Crypto analyst and Bitcoin advocate Max Kaiser sarcastically suggested the U.S. government could start selling states to keep the strategic reserve budget neutral. Hey, Canada, this is your chance, man. If you've been putting on, or somebody's putting on some things to be bought you, maybe you can do the reverse strategy here and start buying maybe some states of the U.S. I don't know. I just think that's hilarious, guys. Please don't take it the wrong way. It's just a back and forth thing. You know how politicians sometimes kind of like speak out of their brains, if we can call it like that. That's everywhere, guys. That's everywhere, all across the world, all right? So just a little bit of a funny story here. I just wanted to make a joke on this, but we'll see how that reserve goes. I mean, hopefully it is for the good. In fact, if it happens, I'm certain that it's going to be for the good. Guys, this is now time for you guys to let me know what you guys want me to take a look at. I'm open to take a look at any trades that you guys want me to do, right? So not live trading, but a couple of setups. Last time we did some setups, well, then I think we nailed them. By the way, look at that, losing the dynamic reactor. We're losing the zero line, most likely breakout retest. Off you go. How could you find those areas of support? If you are a traditional trader, well, then you just go for where you have important areas of entry, or bouncing areas right there, all right? Or if you have chart prime, well, then you just turn on your quantum reactor and there you go, easy peasy, right? Or you can start turning on, there we go, a little bit more advanced tools like your area of support here, your money flow POC. And by the way, the area of support is a support line. Here it is. This one that overextends. And then this box that is green and red, those are liquidity areas. And of course, your money flow. So could this be an entry? Remember, this is not financial advice, but I'll let it drop for you guys right there. For me, I'm going to try to catch this possible long right down here. Why? Because I am doing the class or the YouTube live. So I don't know. I cannot do all the things at the same. But remember, TP number 1 at the trend line. Once again, shout out to Chart Prime to automated trend lines right here. So TP number 1 at 88, 87. Remember, this is not financial advice. All of the trades that you take should be run by you first and have your approval, of course, your keys, your decision, your crypto. All right. So link, perfect. Let's take a look at link Baba Jazz. By the way, guys, if you guys can help me out, if I miss on any requests, please repost it here. I have eyes for you guys right there. Let me see. Why is it not showing? Is it stuck or something? Oh, all right. There we go. That's why. All right. Link right there. Let me just adjust this. Perfect. Let's do link then. Any time frame specific, guys? Let me know. Let's get started with no indicators first. Remember that we need to take a look at or use our brain and eyes, because that is the most important trading tool that you can have, right? For the big market, well, this is a 5 minutes. Let's go something like the 4 hours. Yeah, I think that would be much better. All right. For the 4 hours here, we're kind of like mimicking Bitcoin at this point. Something important is this is creating kind of like a megaphone pattern in here. Not really something that I like to see right down here. Why? Because we are ranging. We could be breaking up to the upside here. We are above the zero line, but we have VWAP crossover and a bearish divergence. prime score, there we go, look at that. If we keep pushing prime score, we could maybe just invalidate this bearish divergence, all right? Something that I do like right now, it is that we've set up the previous resistance point as now a new support with that pivot area, right? Now it's time for me to start adding support and resistances. There we go. We have a support. We are ranging here. Most probably we could be doing this and then coming back down. Is it going to hold? We need to wait for that area to be taken because the oscillator is looking weak, all right? So we can also bring another oscillator, very important oscillator. This is a free tool, by the way, RSI primed. And what we're looking for here is that kind of like a itty bitty candles at the top. Do we have those itty bitty candles? Kind of, but they're not at the top. They are kind of like in a moving upward zone. Something, there we go, like in here. And what happened up there at this area? Look at that, that little flag, and another push above dynamic reactor, right? Another push on the dynamic reactor, and then we have a rejection. So that rejection is because we did not held in here. We have a bearish divergence and we lost the zero line right there. So that's why I'm telling you guys, the next movement most likely is going to be to the upside, where we have our next area of resistance. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy right here. Let's set up a possible entry short. And of course, we already have our link crossing 2049 in case we overshoot, because if we overshoot to that area, the retracement is going to be bigger, but also the dynamic reactor will have enough time to accumulate some more volume. Therefore, changing my perspective from bearish movement to breakout retest, and off we go to the upside, all right? So depending how high we get at this point, either somewhere around 1912, for me, that most likely would be bearish fake out, so going back to the lower points, maybe somewhere around 1531. Or if we hit 2049, that for me, that's going to be confirming the bullish movement. That will be a bullish statement, taking the previous highs. There we go, and then going for the next support right down there. Daily and 4 hours, perfect. Let's go to daily and take a look at what's happening here. Right here, we have not much, all right? Not much in quotations. Why? Let's do the most important part in here. So trend lines, here we go. We could be doing this trend line, or we could be doing this other trend line here, right here. Regardless, we're trying to make that push and we're getting rejection. Sorry, not rejection. I thought I was looking this the other way around. Let me just hide this. There we go. We're having kind of like a bullish candle here with a bullish push in here. We just need to wait for this area to be taken. Again, if we go to 18, I believe that we could be starting making some bullish pattern in the lower time frames, as we spoke on the 4 hours. So far on the daily, we are breaking a trend line here. We need to wait for breakout retest, and then off we go. But so far, we're looking a better, not good just yet, but better prime score. Look at that, from 0 to 3, and we are increasing and pushing. All right, let's go take a look at it in the meantime. In the meantime, you guys, give me another asset to look at. Let's go and take a look at XRP. And also, I want to take a look at Ethereum. So daily, again, kind of like a stable coin. We're just not losing that range. Guys, this is just not moving anywhere. Up and down, up and down, up and down, and not really doing much, all right? But still, I believe that when we make the breakout, bullish or bearish, it's going to be a big reaction. So far, maybe I could start suggesting, all right, the look for, all right, not telling you to do anything, just suggesting to look for a possible rejection at the top of the range, as we have seen before, and its rejection at the bottom of the range. That means probably under your decision, buy the bottom, sell the top, hedge it. So whenever you break something, it stops you out at some position, but you keep earning at the next position. That could be a good area to start range or playing the range, because this is a daily range. You can play in 30 minutes or in the 4 hour. I would say, you know what, even the 1 hour, I would say that it is good to be playing out. Why? Because you have enough of a structure here. Look at that. Trend lines, sweep of the lows. There we go. Breakout retest, and off you go, guys. This was a perfect look at that. Look at that breakout retest, and one candle, off we go. That was magic. All right, so far we have kind of an elongated trend line here. Let me try to fix this a little bit better. There we go. Let me even pull it all the way here. We don't want to lose this trend line. If we start losing that trend line, I think we're going to be into a pico. Why? Because most likely we could be rolling over. But I do see, guys, do you see it? We have a possible goose head. Not in the actual place that I like it to be, right? I mean, I like those goose head to be played out very near to this upper area. By the way, Alexander G, $10 super chat. What's up? Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Smash that like, family. Yes, please smash that like. Alexandra, spread the love. Thank you so much for that $10 gift that you put in here in the chat. So at this point, well then, it seems like we could be making the next movement to the upside. All right, let's figure out what happens on the previous goose head in here, right? A further move to the upside before a retracement, right? And then whatever needs to happen, right? Further move to the upside before a retracement, and then whatever needs to be happen, right? So our analysis will be back in here unless we have a big run up and then a dump. So is it time to buy? Well, then we are on the trend line. I would say just wait up a little bit. Maybe your long position could be at the trend line right there. Very, very, very cheap stop loss, and then aiming at the top or almost at the top previous highs, maybe somewhere around here at the top of those areas. Let me try to add a couple of setups in here because so a couple of alerts because I might be trying to trade XRP today. We'll see how that plays out. Thank you for that, Alexandra G. Loved it. Baba Just, thank you also. So let's take a look at something else. I want to go over Ethereum and also I want to visit gold. Guys, gold's gonna be a storyteller, but Ethereum, remember Ethereum. Let's go. Ethereum. All right. So right here on the 1 hour, I was looking for where I was explaining how to calculate your stop losses on a previous class. Let me just clear this up. Maybe I might be able to on Ethereum. We'll see. And that's because we have a second bouncing here after a double bottom breakout of this trend line that we had going on in here. Look at that breakout retest. Off we go with that double bottom. We also broke this other trend line. So finally, we're going for the breakout of this other trend line right here. We don't have just yet the retest, right? So look at that. Maybe the next retest could be right down on that trend line. As you can see, I'm doing kind of like a pattern here. Guys, I would not be consider this a bearish flag or a broadening wedge right now. Why? Because this is a trend line setup, and for it to be considered maybe a bearish flag, you will need the price action to play it out in here for then look for bottoms. All right, but so far we are not within that range. We just happen to have kind of like a symmetrical pattern there. So for me, I'm gonna be adding a maybe stop or take profits right here at previous highs where we also have some support, and I'm gonna be right clicking on this trend line. Let's lock it first, and then let's add an alert on it. It's time for me to start using my indicators right now. Look at that, easy peasy. So we're in big resistance. That's why I'm expecting to have a little bit of a reversal. Consolidation score is very, very, very high. What does that mean, guys? That means that we are highly consolidating, but also the next number after 8 is 9 and then 10. And after 10, we just go back to 0, which means that we are almost about to break the range. It's not only telling you that we are we are highly ranging, but also it's telling you that we are at the end of that range, right? What is the range if you don't see it? Here is with fake outs, all right? So there is your range. So other than that, guys, looking for possible entry right down here. We'll analyze again once we start hitting that alert, and then we'll take a final decision. All right. So, but so far we're still bearish. We're still bearish, trying to break bullish, and we have bullish structure so far. All right. We just need to put in here a high, maybe an entry and a higher high. So as long as we take this high higher, there we go. I think we are good to go for the next dynamic reactor support, and then your major trade setup right there. All right. So just giving you guys the heads up in here. Let me do, let's go over Litecoin and let's finalize. Do we have any other support in here? Or Solana? We just did Solana, I believe so. Did we? Yeah, we did Solana. What else? Oh man, absolutely. Thank you guys. Ethereum. So let's go then to take a look at gold. I also want to do OM. Man, you know, why not? Let's rush through them. All right, Litecoin having a little bit of a range. I am a little bit worried about this range. Why? Because of the pattern that I'm seeing in here. This, for me, this is a flat pause of bearish continuation. Why? Let me show you. Let me you know, get rid of everything here because we. So let's take a look at here. Let me show you. There we go. The bearish scenario here. So I just changed it to daily because it's going to be easier to catch. But there we go. Going down. Look at that. After coming up very dramatically, coming down dramatically, falling below the dynamic reactor. First, flat pause of bearish continuation, which is Wyckoff patterns. All right. So after that, well, then we have a secondary and usually a third pause. So first, secondary, third, and the third one is the charm before we start reversing. Let's go back to the 4 hour. Let's click it here. Let's also, there we go, much better. So coming back down after a big surge to the upside, coming back down here, breaking through that dynamic reactor first. All right. Also, first could be the last one, but it's not the first time, right? So we need to be a little bit careful here because, yes, we are in a range and we're at the bottom of the range. But just yet, I just don't have that breakout movement. In fact, right now, I know the oscillator is pushing bullish, but at this point, when I'm about to break bullish, I would love to see the price pushing here. So then I know I could be breaking, retesting, and then off we go with something like that. But this is not the case. We still have a little bit to go here. Let's give it a little bit more moment or patience to Litecoin. See when we're trying to break that range. And on the breakout retest, we try to jump in for Litecoin. Let's do OM and then let's go to Bitcoin. Sorry, to gold. All right, OM, basically it is doing the same. This is the secondary. All right, the secondary flat pause of first, second. So maybe the third one will be the charm. All right. And I'm seeing at this point, there we go, that we have a loud order block here, down here. That's why I wanted to go over OM. Guys, this could be a big entry point. I'm going to be setting my alert at 592, very close to where my predictive range is at and my loud order block is at. Also, I'm almost there with the flip of the ribbon. Maybe sweep of the lows might be the way to go here. And also, we can start drawing a trend line right here for then sweep of the lows, right? Making maybe some structure, breakdown, retest, and off we go, bouncing off the next loud order block. So OM is one of the coins that I really want to jump back in. For me, OM has been doing fantastic, just giving and giving and giving. So hopefully we can make it important. Very, very important. This bounce is not for sure. So I'm now explaining a little bit why. But my long position will be after the bottom here, all right, on the confirmation. Why? Because I want to catch at least going to that trend line. But if I just go through this area very quick, remember the order blocks can disappear for one moment to another, all right? So if that happens, well, then guess what we got right down here. So my next entry is going to be here. And this entry right down here, let me just move it to the top. It's going to be for holding. So whatever I buy here at 485, I'm just going to throw it at the back of my holding stocks and just leave it. All right. So be careful with this entry here. We're breaking bearish. All right. We are below the 0 line. We're trying to catch a falling knife. Be careful. Try to enter on back on confirmations. Let's go to gold. Oh, don't. Oh, come on. Gold. XAU. Sorry, my dyslexia kind of like plays me dirty here. So let's take a look at here. Let's go to daily. Daily, we were talking about this area of support. Let me clearing up a little bit my charts. We have too much going on in here. There we go. Let me just get rid of this, which, by the way, was the previous cycle box, which was this cycle box. I just copy it. I'm placing in here. Seems like based on the cycle box, we're topping here, but also we're not losing that area. We have the flip of the ribbon, but that flip of the ribbon doesn't inspire too much confidence because it seems like it wants to roll over. We want to be a little bit careful here. We have not yet visited dynamic reactor. Look at that. Visiting dynamic reactor usually is a very nice area of entry. If not, look for this pattern here. Little hump, bigger hump, symmetrical triangle, breakout, retest your entry, and off we go. Little hump, big hump, right? Going back downwards here, having a symmetrical triangle, and then look at that, almost right to the dynamic reactor for the next push upwards. This is not a for sure strategy, all right? This is not a for sure analysis. This is the next possible entry point as we calculated here, as we saw right down here, because we know this pattern, all right? But the point in here is that we did not bottom down like we did in here, neither in here, and we're going up for maybe some center action in here, right? So something like this, which indicates that we could be doing that range, right? Important, we could also lose this area. Why? Because gold, in my opinion, it's overdriven, all right? It's overdriven. This is just my opinion. So other than that, look for those possible entries, guys. We are at the end of the hour. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. And also, Piper, have a great cruise ship, my friend. Hopefully you're having a blast. Guys, take care of this Friday. Might be a little shaky, I would say. Do you remember, manage your risk. That's the most important thing that you can do. And as Piper would say, use a stop loss. Guys, thanks so much for joining, and see you guys on Monday.
Dude!